going to do this week is you're going to learn about the principles of design. And the principles of design are basically certain guidelines that artists and designers started noticing or came up with that would make their picture look more interesting, more balanced, and just visually pleasing, meaning people would want to just look at them. And those are the kind of artworks that usually will think, oh, that's really nice. So principles of design are basically rules that help artists make their artwork more pleasing and more interesting. Now, artists can also break those rules to make their art look more like something that would create anxiety or fear or make us feel kind of like, oh, why does it do that? And it's basically a way to control how a viewer would react to your artwork, okay? So to do this, we're going to focus today. There are many different principles of design, but today we are focusing on balance, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to get 2 separate sheets of white piece of paper or something that is white or light color or one color. You can also put our paper bag that we were using for our last project, the shopping bag, cut it up and just put a large piece of paper. So again, for this part, I'm just going to tape it up so I have a large piece of paper. All right, I'm gonna put them together and tape them. It's going to be our work surface, right? Flip it over, and this is where I'm gonna show you the different principles of design. What you're going to do is after watching this, you are going to also create with your own objects balance on your piece of paper. Okay, the objects I'm going to be using, so you need your piece of paper and you need some objects from around the house. Try to pick objects that are similar. So you can either use a whole bunch of like art tools like markers and eraser or whatever else, right? So you can either use these. Although I recommend using something that has a variety of sizes and shapes, so you can do this. Or you can find things that are in the kitchen, which is what I'm using. So I found this in these tools in my kitchen drawer, including this. And I like that it has a variety of sizes and some color to them. So whatever you choose around the house, make them similar in the same kind of category. So if it's going to be things from the kitchen, maybe utensils from the kitchen, or maybe it's pens and pencils. You can also do these with keys or random things that you find in your drawer that are about the same size. Whatever you use, make sure if it's not yours that you ask for permission. Okay, for today's principle of design, we are going to focus on balance. What does balance mean? It means that when we're looking at an artwork, our eyes are kind of going all over the work equally. So for example, what do I mean by that? So let's say I put this big thing in the middle. Or actually, let's put it on this side right here. Our eyes, if this is our paper, okay, if this is our artwork, our eyes is just gonna go here and it's gonna get stuck here. And it's not gonna go anywhere else around the page because there's nothing else here. Now let's say I put this here, all right? Our eyes is going to go still mainly here. We might look at this, but it's going to go mainly here. Meaning on this side it's heavier, okay? Now sometimes color does that, sometimes shapes do that, sometimes lines do that. So whatever is in your artwork, you want balance. So whatever is happening here, if it's heavy here, you want it to be heavy here. So meaning if our eyes is going here, we want our eyes to go kind of to the same amount in other places in our artwork, okay? We want there to be balance. We don't want it to just be heavy on one side. So how can I start making this less heavy? Well, less heavy on this side. I can start adding more objects to this side. to balance it out. Okay, just like a scale. So whatever is on this side, you want the scale, you want the same amount on the other side. So I might put these three, and now visually it might feel more balanced because it's almost the same amount of stuff as it is here. I might have to add maybe one more. Might have to add it maybe one more, right? I think it might start getting too heavy on this side if I add too many. So I kind of liked it better like this, visually more balanced. Now, maybe knives aren't the best choice. I think I'm going to go with spoons. Maybe one more. I like the idea of having, since this is in this corner, I'm going to make this in this corner. Alright, now there is more of a balance on my page. So there's this big object right here, and there's little objects over here on this side that balance this. They look about the same amount and the same weight. We're talking about visual weight. That means our eyes, visually, we can say this weighs more than this. Like if we had something really small on the side, for example, like a knife going this way, we can say this has more visual weight because it takes up more space, it's darker, right? So it has more visual weight. That's what we're talking about. So this, now by doing this, I've created asymmetrical balance on my page. So this kind of balance is called asymmetrical. All right, I'm going to show you a different type of balance. The next balance way to create balance is symmetrical balance. Okay, so symmetrical means when you divide your page, same things that are on this side are going to be on this side, pretty much equal. Everything is going to look about the same, okay, on both sides. So let's take this. There's a spoon. There's another small spoon. Symmetrical balance. All right, it could look like this. Symmetrical balance. All right, they could look like this. That's still symmetrical balance. All right, I might add another component. Okay, symmetrical balance. Next form of balance is radial balance, which means everything is coming out from the center and it's going kind of in a circle. Think about like the sun. Okay, when we draw a sun, there's there is a circle in the middle, and then there's lines in the middle around it, right? That's usually when you were younger, that's how you would draw the sun. That's how it works. All right, so let's try it with this. Now, if you brought a certain number of utensils and you're like, well, I don't have enough to make this radial balance, just go get more, okay? Or if you were using markers or something, then you would just go grab more so you can do your radial balance. But kind of for the radial balance, you just want to imagine a circle in the middle, all right? And then you are going to have everything go out from the middle. Now, you still want you don't want just to put like everything just go like that. It's not going to work. You want things to have the same weight, again, visually. So if I'm going to put a spoon on this side, I'm going to put a spoon on this side. Now I'm going to create radial balance. I'm going to try to start at the center of my page. I'll start with my spoons, okay? I can make it go all the way like this, but I'm not going to have enough room all over, so I'm just going to bring them a little bit closer to each other. And I'm going to do the same this way. Alright, so there you go. That's radial balance. We can make it more complicated by adding some forks. There. Right? And maybe some knives. highlight these under here. Notice how whatever I'm doing on one side, I'm doing on the other one. It's going in a circular pattern, okay? Now what you're going to do is, with whatever object that you have found, you are going to create 3 different examples of each one of these that I told you. 3 examples of asymmetrical balance, 3 examples of symmetrical balance, and 3 examples of radial balance. I'm going to show you my 3. I will use different objects for this. You can too, or you can do all of it with the same objects. Colors can also affect symmetry. If I put this here and put this here, they might look about the same size, but they will not have the same visual weight, which means a color that's darker is going to grab our attention more. So therefore it has a heavier weight. Okay? So visually, when we're looking at it, it's heavier. So this dark black, it's going to grab all our attention, so it's not equal to this, even though they're the same size. So if I want them to be balanced, not be enough, I might have to put a color that is similar on the other side. On there. Now I have balance. Still maybe a little heavy on the black side because blue doesn't have, if it was a darker blue, it could work, but they're more balanced now than when they were like this, or even if they were like this. Okay? So color can affect that. All right, so you can use other objects like keys and other things that you find that are about the same size to create that effect. So this is an asymmetrical balance. You're going to create your balance. This is asymmetrical balance, and then you're going to take a picture of it. Okay? You're going to take a picture of it. Make sure you're directly, so this is your camera and it's directly above what you have created. All right, take a picture, and that is going to be one of the 3 that you have to do. So here's one. I took a picture. Here's another one with asymmetrical balance. I would take a picture of that. That's the second one. And finally, the last one. Third one. You take a photo of it, and then that I'm done with asymmetrical. Then you move on to symmetrical design. Okay, remember, symmetrical, whatever is happening to the one side is happening to the other side. It's probably the easiest one to do. Symmetrical. Another example of symmetrical balance is, here's another example of symmetrical balance. Another symmetrical balance would be another example of symmetrical balance. You take a picture and you submit. We can turn this symmetrical into now radial balance. Okay, there it is, radial balance. You can have something heavy in the middle and have other objects coming from around it. Another example of radial balance. So you would take a picture and then submit this for your radial balance. I'm going to show you with some markers how to create radial balance, which is actually pretty easy. Okay? Again, be aware of the color, okay? Like red and green are going to look a little bit heavier than yellow because they feel darker. Radial balance. Snap a photo. And there's another example of